Hi, I'm Dave Wheeler, and I love to fly airplanes, like this one. Maybe you would too? Or maybe you'd like to own this one? Or maybe you found that flying actually costs money, sometimes lots of money. More money than you have available? I'd like to share some lessons I learned from animals I grew up with that taught me how to find the money I need to fly with. I grew up in central Colombia in the missionary community of Loma Linda. Here it is from the air. Maybe 300 Americans lived and worked there, including the kids. There's where my house was. And there's the airstrip, just a quarter mile from my house. And there's the hangar, where I loved to hang out around the airplanes. These airplanes. But when my parents told me they didn't have the money to pay for flying lessons, I felt disappointed and even a little cheated. The only times I got to fly were as a passenger when we rode 3 hours in a Helio Courier to our jungle location where my parents worked with the Siona people. There's our house in the jungle. Then I discovered I could learn things from animals around me, believe it or not, that could help me find the money to fly. During the school year, my parents often left us school-age kids back at Loma Linda when they had to be with the Siona people. When this happened, we stayed in a place we called the children's home with lots of other kids. There's where it was. Here's a closer view of it from the hangar across the airstrip from it. We often played soccer or sometimes softball here, right next to the children's home while there. The children's home had a wonderful zoo with all kinds of different parrots and other wildlife. One special parrot was named Roberto, like this parrot. Sometimes we'd take him out of the cage to let him watch us play softball. Here's another view of the children's home from the air. And here's where the softball field was a long time before this picture was taken. We'd clipped Roberto's wings so he couldn't fly away, and he'd sit on the backstop calling out, "Foul ball," anytime anybody hit the ball. And that was funny for a while, but soon it started getting annoying. Finally, one of the kids, Pat, got so annoyed that he grabbed Roberto off the backstop and threw him down the hill behind the children's home. Roberto fluttered down the slope, still able to use his wings to barely make a soft landing. When he realized he couldn't fly back up the hill, he cried out, "Help me! Help me!" Pat yelled back, "Just fly back up here, you stupid bird." Roberto squawked back, I can't." One day it finally struck me. There was an awful lot of "I can't" floating around those days. The lesson I got out of it? Focus on what you can do. If you think you're having a hard time finding the money to fly or to do anything else, pop over to my website. There's a link to it below this video. There you'll be invited to join my free e-list to get tips on how you can better focus on what you can do, like perhaps flying.